Guys, Michael Furlong here from Rentrollmaximiser, and I have the pleasure today in chatting to Sarah Cincotta from Ray White Glen Waverley. Hello, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Incredibly well, incredibly well. We've just been catching up and chatting and talking. Isn't there a little bit more of a step in real estate now that we're almost out of lockdown?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone I've been speaking to lately, and I've been doing opens privately with renters, and just the energy is pretty incredible right now.
I've noticed that the phone has started to pick up, which is good. Have you were saying that you really hadn't noticed too much of a difference during this last lockdown in Melbourne, and you actually had a PB, a personal best for letting, which is brilliant.
Yeah, so our office has been quite consistent despite restrictions, despite COVID and unprecedented times and challenges that happen around that. We did have a PB in August where we did lease 86 properties that month, which was, yeah, it was phenomenal, especially sight unseen, all from renters, which was amazing. But for us, the phones have kept ringing, which is great for us.
Sure.
But I think that's just because of our presence in the market and the service that we provide to our clients as well.
Now, you're the business development manager at Ray White Glen Waverley. Are you the only BDM?
No, so there's myself and there's another business development manager as well.
Okay, competitive? A little bit of competition between the two?
We work really well together and separate. I think it's important, you know, in any office, it's about the team and about your culture.
Sure.
So we do support each other, but we still do work on our individual projects, and we both have our client databases, so it works really well. Sometimes we can get a little bit competitive, but I think we work better when we work, you know, together and help each other, because ultimately we've got the same vision to assist with the growth of the business.
Now, you haven't always been a BDM. You started out as a property manager or assistant property manager. Give me a little bit of background about Sarah and the journey to get to where you are now. How long have you been in the industry?
So I've been in real estate now 8 years. I started as an assistant property manager. I actually helped with a acquisition at an agency, which was great because I got to really start learning the ins and outs of property management without just going straight into an assistant role. I then moved into being an assistant manager at another agency. I started there at Stockton, Lego and Cranbourne, where I worked underneath two amazing property managers. And then from there, I really was ready to take the step into being a property manager. So I then was welcomed by the Barry Plant Group in Berwick, which I bloomed pretty comfortably into property management. I really did enjoy helping renters and rental providers, but I also loved just the whole investor side of things, and I really wanted to challenge myself and grow more within the industry. And then my director at Ray White Glen Waverley, I actually interviewed there as a property manager for opportunity for growth, and offered me the business development role. So was really happy that someone took a chance and saw that fire in my belly, and haven't looked back since.
Do you think, Sarah, it's important to have a background as a PM? Does that help you in explaining or listing, in going through the process with a new rental provider? I've got to get used to that, landlord,
yeah.
Rental provider. Does that help you, do you think, rather than just being purely a business development manager without that experience?
I think as a business development manager, a lot of people don't really understand, like when you talk to clients and you say that you're a business development manager, a lot of people don't really grasp the concept, I feel anyway.
Yes.
I more like to say that I'm an investment property specialist.
Sure.
I don't feel like it is 100% necessary to have a background in property management, but it has definitely assisted me in my journey when I can really communicate well with my clients. And I've been in the background, I've been to VCAT before, yes. I've been a renter before as well, which helps as well. So yes. I think for where I have progressed to now, it has definitely helped having that background, and has also assisted me with my clients and their journeys as well.
And it sounds like you've had a quite a good, I'll say, apprenticeship by starting out as more in an assistant role, and then getting to a stage of taking on your own portfolio. What was that time frame from when you started to then being able to have your own portfolio? How long was that?
So it was would have been just over 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a really good time frame, isn't it? Because you get to learn the basics rather than going straight into, and a lot of brand new people that come into the industry, they get given a portfolio from day one. They're generally the people that leave the industry fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think it is great to know, the entirety of a business as well, and how everything operates, what a day will look like in property management. It is a lot that we need to know now for property managers. So I think start as an assistant and have someone that will help you and mentor you and let you flourish into that role is important, I feel.
So you were in an office where there was 2 seniors and you were the assistant for both. Did they run as a pod, or still end to end, and you just helped both portfolios?
So no, it was one portfolio between the two of them, and I basically did more of the renter side of communication.
Yes.
And things like condition reports and routine inspections and final inspections, where they provided that service more to investors and their current rental providers.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about the Glen Waverly office, because it's not a small office, and I think there's over 60 staff.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. You have property management and sales. It's obviously a strong sales team as well?
Yeah.
Yep. And do you offer, is there finance through the Ray White Group?
Yeah, so we've got commercial, and then we have property management, admin, and our sales team.
Yes.
So yeah, quite a large office. So our Glen Waverly office, we manage 1,700 properties from our office. We have beautiful, large, really exclusive and boutique homes. And then we can also help with apartments and units. So in the Monash area, it is quite a diverse range of properties that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
So what would be the most expensive rental property and the least expensive? What would you have as a dollar figure wise? What's the gap?
Yeah, so I mean, your big homes, even in Glen Waverly, some of them rent out for $1,300 per week.
Okay.
And then when you're dealing with some, 1-bedroom units or apartments, it can be as low as $350 a week. Yeah.
That's a significant gap, isn't it? So it's almost close to 4 times. So when you're out listing and you're out from, say, for example, a KPI for you as part of your business development, do you have a look at the dollar value or the income value that comes back through to the business, or are you looking at the number of doors? How do you track your performance? There's a big gap, 1,300 to 350.
Yeah, so it's definite. Look, I mean, a business development manager will always set KPIs and goals for themselves. I think that's really important to track your growth, and essentially you are working to grow the business.
Yes.
So definitely I have KPIs monthly for my listings. In terms of the income for the business, we have a certain amount per property. That is our aim, to be able to continue to provide that level of service that we do to our clients.
So absolutely. So what I was meaning, though, Sarah, is one bedroom is equivalent to, 4 times 1 bedroom is equivalent to. So would you look at it and say, from a business point of view, I have to achieve $50,000 a month in new management fees, and how you get that, and then you can go off and target the bigger homes. How do you balance where you spend your activity and your time?
So me personally, no, that's not how. I don't track my KPIs that way.
Yep.
Because I welcome any investor. My job is to help any investor, whether they have a $800 per week property or a $350 property.
Yes.
They're all equal. They're all on their own unique investor journey. So for me, it's more about creating opportunities to get in front of all kinds of properties. So I don't track my KPIs that way. Yeah.
Okay. And so there's 2 BDMs. How big is the PM team?
Property managers, I think we're at 13 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's almost a squad, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have your own soccer team.
Yeah, and we're continuing to grow, and we also have a leasing team, which is amazing. And we've also got our admin support, which is great too. So it is a really great culture. We all work extremely hard and very close with each other. So it's amazing.
And your landlord clients, your rental provider clients, are they? Tell me a bit about them. Are they? Are you getting them through investor groups? Are they overseas landlords? They're local landlords who have moved out and it's now their rental property. Is it? What sort of landlords do you have?
It's a variety in the southeast suburbs and the Monash area. I would say predominantly in the Monash area, so we're talking Glen Waverly, Mount Waverly especially, that area is known for the school zones.
Yes.
A lot of investors are looking for capital growth as well, instead of cash flow on their investment properties.
Sure.
So they're the kind of investors that we typically see doing, strategic investments. Then we've got people who will rent out their property in the area, but they need to then get in the school zone. So your rent investors, quite common in the area that I work in as well. Anywhere to, first home buyers. It is quite a variety. I can't say that we just typically deal with one kind of investor, which is amazing because you get to hear everyone's journeys and everyone is unique. And range of nationalities too. Haven't really seen much overseas investors at the moment, but I'm sure potentially next year that might come back.
And you were saying just before we started recording, the rentals are quite strong. You're still renting a lot of properties. There isn't a lot of vacancy, whereas some agencies, particularly those that are in a city, are really struggling with trying to fill because their rental target market is gone. Do you spend a lot of time, Sarah, working with renters as well? Or do you focus entirely, because you've spoken a couple of times about the investor journey, and I love that. But do you spend much time with renters, or is it purely just the rental providers and the landlords?
No, I spend a lot of time with renters. So something that we do is we do work Saturdays as us BDMs and even our department managers as well. We all work Saturdays so that we can meet renters that are in the market so that we know what they are looking for, and it also helps with then the other side of providing that knowledge to our rental providers on what tenants are looking for. So it helps collectively. Also with my role, I do help within the leasing process as well. So I don't just list properties and then property management take over. I still am very involved in the leasing process, and there are sometimes that we need to negotiate some terms or some extra things that renters want at properties. So I am talking to renters daily as well.
That's a good thing, and I'll come to that in a second. But the reason why I asked you that is because I spend a lot of time when I'm consulting to officers and they want to build a rent roll and they only focus on their landlords. And I say, well, landlords are producing income, that's fine, but 50% of your business is untapped. So you even if it's offering finance to them, insurances to them, trying investor nights, trying to help tenants pre-qualify to be able to buy investment properties. So do you have a strategy, either yourself personally or as a business, to try and help renters become landlords?
Yeah, so there are services that we provide. So we use Market, which are fantastic. So they do help with speaking with our renters and helping them on their journey. We do send a lot of updates to our renters, as well as, on our social media platforms as well. We like to be able to stay connected to our community, which I think is really important. And a lot of there is, I don't know the percentage exactly, but we do have some of our renters that are also our rental providers as well. So it's making sure that that level of service is for everyone, whether you're a renter or a rental provider. We've all got goals, and we definitely have the right things in place and the right networks and connections and alliances to be able to help anyone with their journey too.
Excellent. And you've touched on their social media. I think you're a social media queen. You are kicking goals in that area.
Thanks.
With your LinkedIn, with your Instagram, with Facebook, I think that's an area that you've done really well. And you would obviously attribute that to your lead generation, your success.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, social media helps for someone to get to know you before they have even met you. Yeah, I think
the comfort level and trust.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of my strong points is I am able to build trust quite early on when I do speak with potential rental providers. And that is, yes, I push that so they can go on and they can have a look at what I do and who I am as a person and some of my journey and things that, and the team, they're all play a big part in, I guess, researching who you're wanting to do business with too. I think a lot more people do that.
Yeah. And you were saying before, you play an active role once you've listed the property. You are also then involved in the leasing. Is that for all properties, and then you hand over? Is that is that the process?
Yes. Yeah.
So you've listed the property, take on all the administration, set it up. Do you use outsourcing at all? Do you have outsourced staff or admin staff to do some of the paperwork for you?
Yeah, so like I said, we've got admin support. We do have VAs. We've got a great team of VAs in the Philippines that are just dedicated to our office, and they are amazing and they're very important to our team, and they are part of our culture and our team as well. So for me, it's, I'm doing appraisals, I'm networking, I'm connecting with people. I don't have to do much admin, which is great in terms of, like, I do the copywriting, monitor the marketing campaigns, provide regular feedback to my renters. But our leasing team will do the inspections. They will process applications. So there's a lot of support with that process of leasing as well. And then it's just making sure that the deal comes together and everyone's happy.
I think VAs are outstanding. A little bit of a plug to my own, because they'll be producing the videos here.
Yeah.
I've got 3 VAs, and I would be buggered without them. Sarah, it's been really, really good chatting with you. Thank you. I'm intrigued to find out a little bit more about the role of BDM and your success. So thanks for the chat today. We will chat further. If someone wants to get in touch with you, Ray White, it's raywhitegw.com. So GW for Glen Waverly. But what I might do is, if you're okay with this, can I just pop your email underneath here as well? Absolutely. So that we can get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. So Sarah, thank you very much for this afternoon, and we will chat soon.
Awesome. Thank you.